Good morning. Dr. Bob Flower with the Tuesday, August 31st Master Pattern Report. Well, let's look at last week. The Master Pattern called for a drop to 254, around there, which it did. And then conceivably, if it penetrated that down to 241, which it also did. We said that if it broke the 1041 level, it would be a sleigh ride downhill from there. And actually what's happened is that twice since last week, it did penetrate to 1041, then it bounced like a rubber ball off of that level. In fact, I think it was Friday, it took a big bounce up. But we think that that's only a temporary phenomenon. The Master Pattern Report actually called for a move on the 30th, and indeed the S&P moved 15 points. There was a swing of 15 points on that day, so that was a good call. Oil, it seems like temporarily has stabilized at that mid-70s level, 73 to 75. And metals actually moved up, not down, as we had thought that they would over these 2 weeks. However, we think that they will move down temporarily before they make a large-scale move up before the end of the year. This week, we believe a major move down is still in place and is impending. The August disaster did not come in material forms. It did come in news and in structure. I mean, everything is in place here for a total drop out of the bottom of the market. We think that oil will drop further from here into the winter, and that the dollar will weaken. And we're looking at some silver moves on the 3rd today, the 31st, and the 6th. Okay. By the way, a couple of the viewers have wanted to know about silver and will it crash if the market crashes and whatnot. Here's the indicators. It all depends if the market tanks and everything else starts tanking. It all depends on the dollar. If the dollar gains strength as a flight to quality move, silver will drop. But we don't think that's going to happen. We think that the down move here, the dollar already has started a down move from its high, and we think that that's going to continue and conceivably accelerate. And as the dollar moves down, we think that your gold and silver, we're definitely looking at a $20. I mean, that's our bet. We're still short on the S&P, and we're long on silver, over the medium term here. So that's our reading on it. Okay. So everything is in place for one major downturn. So watch out. It didn't come in August. I mean, it did to a small degree, but not to the degree that we think it is coming. We're watching that 1041 level with the S&P, and a close below that will be, we think, a key indicator that we're off and drowning. Okay. Well, folks, the odds of President Obama quitting before his time expires, as we had predicted for over a year now, as a 25% possibility, has moved up to 50%. The patterns are looking stronger. And here's our guesstimate against what's going on and the way things will play out. His move against Arizona and other states on immigration will backfire on him. Not necessarily on principles, but on the process and in the courts. We think that the courts are going to find these states well, going to find in their favor, and the reason is that because the government, federal government, is not upholding the law. If they think that the law is wrong, then they should change it, not usurp the law. This is one of the things that we had said very early on in the master pattern. We started the master pattern was going to be one of the problems with the country. There's going to be lawlessness, and a lot of it's going to come from government. And here's an excellent example. Whether or not you agree with the immigration policy, whatever side of the fence you're on, is not an issue. The issue is that here's the law. You don't think that it's the right law? Change it. And they're not moving to that end. They're posturing. They're trying to get themselves into a position where they can dictate what that law is. And that's the whole problem here. And I think that the courts are going to say, hey, look, regardless, you can't leave the states defenseless. If you say that it's up to you to do it and you're not doing it, the states have a right here. So that's one of the issues that I think is going to really backfire and hurt them. Next, I think this is the biggie. We're predicting that government's going to lose the healthcare lawsuit on legal grounds, at least in part. And that part, more than likely, is the mandating of states and individuals to buying insurance or taking specific policies. Okay? When that happens, and we believe it will happen, it will throw the program, the government, and the president for a loop. Total confusion and loss of confidence will reign the land. Because in effect, we won't have a health care program, not one that will be effective and efficient. The other factor is the possibility of the loss of the House and maybe even the Senate. The president's, given these 3 or 4 factors, the president's own party will throw him under the bus and move towards another candidate. So when we say that he's going to quit, it may not necessarily be that he's going to get up and pack his bags and walk out, but in effect, he will not be de facto president of the country, and they'll be looking for a new leadership and working towards that end for 2012. And he may very well walk at that point. His recent move, the government's recent move to bring Arizona before the United Nations Committee on Human Rights it's laughable, it's insidious, it's insulting, and it's highly improper. Give me a break. You're going to go before China and Russia about human rights and North Korea. These people are sitting on the committee. They're going to judge us for human rights? Okay. Give me a break. And it's just simply another example, profound example of the president's move toward international progressivism. The new one world order in which the United States is just another country in a whole world order run by the power brokers and certain few institutions. Remember, Dr. Bob and that Master Pattern Report, damn boy, I'll tell you, it's a killer. Have a great week.